Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Nature Boy here. Yes, I cut my hair as you can see because I already know some people are going to address that. And today I got a very good video topic for you guys. Today's video topic is going to be about devil fruits, and we're going to be ranking the top 5 best devil fruit users in the series. Now, I want to specify this is not the best devil fruits, and this is not the strongest users of devil fruit. So it's not the strongest characters that happen to use a devil fruit. It is the best users of their devil fruit. So whatever devil fruit they got, they're using it at the best that they can use it at. And that's the list. So we're going to have, I know it's a top 5, but we're going to have 6 in this list because there are 6 people that I thought should be on this list. So before we get into the list, the criteria that we are going to be using to rank this, and each person will get a star rating for each of these criteria, a star rating out of 5. And of these 5 criteria, whoever has the most stars in total gets higher up in the list. So the criteria are: 1, how well do they use their devil fruit? Obviously, goes without saying. Number 2, how good their fruit actually is. So the worse their fruit is, the higher star rating they will get, because the better of a user they are. If they have the best fruit, then they'll get a lower rating in this criteria because the fruit's already amazing. Number 3, how long have they had their fruit? So the less time that they've had their fruit and managed to get on this list, obviously the better. So the less time they've had their fruit, the higher star rating. Number 4, are they awakened? If yes, automatically it's a 5-star. If it's a no, automatically it's a 3-star. And if it is unspecified or unknown, and we have reason to believe that possibly they are awakened, it's just not confirmed, then it's an automatic 4-star. So this one is pretty simple. It's not going to be too complicated. And last but not least, the 5th criteria: how creative and versatile are they with their abilities? So how creative and versatile in the meaning that if someone else were to have their fruit, would they be able to think outside the box the same way this user is and do these amazing things? So a good example of this would be Enel when he restarted his heart in Skypiea, Doflamingo when he restitched his organs fighting Law, Doflamingo's birdcage, and Luffy's gears. These are the prime examples of peak versatility and creativity with your devil fruit for me. So without further ado, with those 5 criteria, we're going to get into the list. Starting at number 6, we have Big Mom. So we're going to break it down. So number 1, how well does Big Mom use her devil fruit? So for me, I gave her 4 stars for this, and I voted giving her 5 because she uses her devil fruit very, very, very well, and she's very, very competent with her devil fruit. It's probably the one thing she actually is extremely competent with. However, her devil fruit is so good that she can create armies. Like, for example, her own subordinate, Cracker, creates armies with his devil fruit to help him fight. So even if they're not extremely strong, and his biscuits were very strong to the point where Luffy needed to use Gear 4 to fight his biscuits alone. So imagine if Big Mom had an army, how much of a distraction and a pain it would be against her opponents if she had 10, 15 different life forms of life forces coming at them. So because of this, I give her a 4, but she is very amazing in this as well. Number 2, how good is her devil fruit actually? So how good is Big Mom's devil fruit? I give her a 2.5 star for this because it is a great devil fruit. It is a fantastic devil fruit, and it's one of the best in this series, so she has a low rating here. But I didn't drop it lower than a 2.5 star because I don't think it is a top 5 devil fruit in the series. If it was, she would get an even lower rating. So this is nothing she can do about this, not her fault. But she does have an amazing devil fruit, so 2.5 stars given there. Number 3, how long has she had her devil fruit? Big Mom is, she's 68 years old. And her flashback when she ate Mother Carmel and the rest of the children, she was 6. So if you do the math there, she has had her devil fruit for 62 years. This is a long, long, long time to have your devil fruit. So even though she is great with it, this long time is going to set her back in stars, and I'm going to give her 1.5 stars for this because as far as I know, this might be the longest confirmed that we know of anyone having a devil fruit in the series. How long ago they've had their devil fruit. So 68 years is a long time. Number 4, is she awakened? Unknown, automatic 4 stars. She has not been confirmed to be awakened, and she has not been confirmed to not be awakened. If you ask me personally, I don't think there's a shadow of a doubt that she is awakened. I think she is 100% awakened. We just haven't been able to see her awakening, or we saw some of her awakening, but it was not told to us that that was her awakening. But I do give her the benefit of the doubt usually and think she is awakened. But she gets 4 stars here. And number 5, how creative and versatile is she with her abilities? I gave her 4.5 stars here because she almost gets it perfect. She's able to use Indra with lightning abilities with Indra. All her attacks come from life forms, such as her sword Prometheus, mixing them up, her cloud Zeus and her son Prometheus, her cloud Zeus and her sword Napoleon. And all of these attacks I feel like are boosted because they are coming from actual life forms other than herself. And we see even her regular sword slashes, or like her Ikaku sovereignty, is coming from Napoleon. And she's able to do stuff like that along with lightning, along with many other abilities, fire abilities, and she's extremely creative and versatile. So for that, I give her 4.5 stars. So to recap, how well does she use her fruit? 4 stars. How good is her fruit actually? 2.5 stars. How long has she had her fruit? 1.5 stars. Is she awakened? Unknown. 4.5 stars. And how creative and versatile? 4.5 stars. So total, Big Mom sits at 16.5 stars, putting her at number 6. Now, number 5, we have Kaido, King of the Beast. Number 1, how well does he use his fruit? I gave Kaido 5 stars for this. 5 stars around the board. He does pretty much everything you can possibly do with a dragon fruit, and he takes full advantage of his durability. Number 2, how good is his fruit? For this, I gave him 3 stars because Kaido has a fantastic fruit. It's an amazing fruit. It's not as good as Big Mom's, so even though I gave Big Mom a 2.5, I will give him a 3 star because I think his fruit is a little bit under Big Mom's in how good it is. So for that, I gave him 3 stars, but it's still one of the best fruits in the series. Number 3, how long has he had his fruit? Kaido has had his fruit for 38 years. We know this for a fact. He got it in God Valley. God Valley was 38 years ago. So because of this, I give him 3 stars. 38 years is a long time, but not the longest time. 4, are they awakened? Unknown. We do not know. Same as the Big Mom. We do not know if Kaido's awakened or if he is not. Again, I give him the benefit of the doubt, same as Big Mom. Even more so, where I think there is no doubt Kaido's awakened. This is not confirmed, so I will not use it in this judgment, but personally, I think his dragon form is his awakening. I think he was a fish originally, and he followed that myth where he climbed up the mountain and he became a dragon and awakened. But anyways, he gets 4 stars for this, for it being unknown, automatic 4 stars. Number 5, how creative and versatile is he with his abilities? I gave him 4 stars because he is very creative with stuff like Flaming Drum Dragon, his hybrid form, but we just haven't seen anything more than that. So I was thinking 3.5 stars, but I did give him 4 stars because you can only be so creative with the dragon fruit, in my opinion, and Flaming Drum Dragon is already beyond what we would expect, but it's nothing amazing to deserve a 5-star rating. So to recap, how well does he use his fruit? 5 stars. How good is his fruit? 3 stars. How long has he had his fruit? 3 stars. Is he awakened? Unknown. 4 stars. And how creative and versatile? 4 stars. So Kaido is sitting at 19 stars at number 5 on this list. We move on to number 4. At number 4, we have Charlotte Katakuri, one of the best Devil Fruit users in my opinion. We're going to break it down. Number 1, how well does he use his fruit? I gave him 5 stars without hesitation. What he was able to do fighting Luffy in Whole Cake Island with the Mochi abilities, I think they speak for themselves, and I think it's a clear 5-star here. Number 2, how good is his fruit actually? I gave him 3.5 stars because he has a fantastic fruit. It is a paramecia, however, it plays more of a special paramecia because it acts more like a Logia. So it's a very, very unique ability, and aside from Logias and how rare they are, this might be one of the rarest, if not the rarest paramecia in terms of the way it is used and its foundation. So so I gave him 3.5 stars here. Number 3, how long has he had his fruit? We know Katakuri, I believe he ate his fruit at 5 years old. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but I believe that's the age he ate it, and he is currently 48. So he's had his fruit for 43 years. It's a fairly long time, longer than Kaido, shorter than Big Mom. So I gave him 2.5 stars here, right in between them. Number 4, is he awakened? Yes. Katakuri is one of the few characters who was confirmed awakened. One of the earliest confirmed awakened, I believe. And for this, he gets automatic 5 stars. And number 5, how creative and versatile is he with his abilities? I gave him 4 stars because, as we saw, fighting Luffy and throughout Whole Cake Island, how much more creative can you get than what we've seen from Charlotte Katakuri? There is still room for growth because there were other things he could have done. I believe so. In terms of defense, he was extremely creative, but he could have also thought more outside the box and done more in terms of his offense with his mochi, in my opinion. So he gets 4 stars there. So to recap, how well does he use his fruit? 5 stars. How good is his fruit actually? 3.5 stars. How long has he had his fruit? 2.5 stars. Is he awakened? Yes, he is confirmed awakened. 5 stars. And creativity and versatility, 4 stars. Katakuri sitting at number 4 with 20 stars, just above Kaido at 19 stars. So now we move into the top 3 best Devil Fruit users in this series, in my humble opinion. At number 3, we have a fan favorite character, someone who just did fantastic in Wano, and in my opinion has the best Devil Fruit in the series. And yes, I'm talking about Trafalgar D. Water Law. Excuse me. So let's break it down with Law. Number 1, how well does he use his Devil Fruit? Come on, 5 stars. No questions asked. 5 stars. If I could give him 6, I would give him 6, especially after that fight with Big Mom and Kurum and everything else that he was doing. 5 stars around the board. How good is his fruit actually? I gave him a 1.5 star here because I believe he has, again, the best Devil Fruit in the series. And like I said in the beginning, the better the Devil Fruit, the lower of a star rating you will get in this specific criteria. Simply because I think it balances out and it's fair. If someone has a really bad fruit and they're one of the best users against someone who has the best Devil Fruit and is one of the best users, we got to be able to just differentiate there. So he gets 1.5 stars. Number 3, how long has he had his fruit? Looking back at his flashback, the calculations I came up with was roughly 13 to 14 years because he is 26 years old now and he ate his fruit around roughly the age of 12 to 13 years old when Corazon died. So for this, I give him 4.5 stars because that's fairly young and it's still fairly new fruit as opposed to some people who've had it for a very, very long time. Number 4, is he awakened? Yes, we know he is awakened, confirmed in Wano, 5 stars, automatically. Number 5, creativity and versatility. For this, I gave him 4.5 stars because, again, what we saw in his fight against Big Mom, he was able to negate sound with Kurum. He's able to use internal electrical damage to shock his opponent, such as Shock Willy, such as Injection Shot, and very other creative things. In Punk Hazard, we saw he's able to switch people's personalities by changing hearts. So if he can take a strong character and switch their personality into a weaker body, they're screwed. He can teleport others, he can teleport objects, he can use shields and create shields in front of himself. So he's able to use other people's entire Devil Fruit abilities within his own ability itself. So for this, I give him 4.5 stars for creativity and versatility. So again, how well does he use his fruit? 5 stars. How good is his fruit? 1.5 stars. How long has he had his fruit? 4.5 stars. Is he awakened? Yes, he is. 5 stars. And how creative and versatile is he with his abilities? 4.5 stars. So Law at number 3 is sitting at 20.5 stars. 20.5 stars. Just above Katakuri at 20 stars. It was a very close one. And at number 2, we have the main character, Monkey D. Luffy. Now, let's break it down for Luffy. Number 1, how well does he use his fruit? 5 stars across the board. I think the fact that let's go back to before we knew what his fruit really was, and we thought it was just the rubber abilities. The fact that he can come up with gears like Gear 2 and Gear 3, especially Gear 4, and if you look at the logic behind it and how it's supposed to work scientifically, it is unreal that someone, especially someone with the intelligence of Luffy, was able to come up with that. So he uses his Devil Fruit to the maximum, in my opinion. And yes, I know his fruit has a lot more than that now, but he did not know that, and neither did we, so I do have to give him credit for that. So for this, he gets 5 stars. How good is his fruit actually? For this, I gave him 2 stars because I believe he probably has top 3 best devil fruits in the series. If I made this list a year ago, he would have gotten 5 stars here because I would have thought he just had like a rubber fruit, which would probably not even be in the top 30 best in the series. However, with the recent reveal, we all know the Hito no Mi model Sun God Nika, easily one of the best devil fruits. In my opinion, it is top 3. It is the 3rd, in my personal opinion, best devil fruit. So he gets 2 stars. Moving on, number 3, how long has he had his fruit? He's had his fruit for 12 years. We know this. He got it in the flashback with Shanks. That was 12 years ago. So in this list, he has had it the shortest of everybody in this list. So for this, I gave him 5 stars. Number 4, is he awakened? Yes, he is awakened. As we know, Nika, 5 stars automatically. Number 5, how creative and versatile is he with his abilities? Like I mentioned earlier, the creativity that it takes to come up with the gears before knowing what your fruit really is, and even after knowing what your fruit really is, to come up with gear 1, to come up with gear 2, 3, and 4 is extremely creative and versatile for rubber abilities. So I gave him 4.5 stars. The reason I did not give him 5 stars and I took away that 0.5 is because I believe Rayleigh helped him out with his creativity on gear 4 when they were training during the time skip in the year and a half that Rayleigh was with him. Now, I know this is not confirmed, but I can't help but think. I know it was mostly focused on Haki training. However, we saw a little bit in his fight with Katakuri. Rayleigh was there to watch him use Gear 4 and to help him out on tips. So for this, I just take it away because no one else on this list, as far as we know, was trained by someone else, especially a legend, on how to use their fruit. So to recap, number 1, how well does he use his fruit? 5 stars. Number 2, how good is his fruit? 2 stars, one of the best fruits. How long has he had his devil fruit? Only 12 years, so he gets 5 stars there. Is he awakened? Yes, he is, 5 stars. And creativity and versatility, 4.5 stars. So Luffy is sitting at a total of 21.5 stars at number 2. Beaten by 1 man. So we have number 4, Katakuri at 20. Number 3, Law at 20.5. And number 2, Luffy at 21.5. So at number 1, with 23.5 stars, I'll tell you guys right now, just to show you, he won by a decent margin. 2 stars is a decent margin when everyone else is this close. This person has always been, in my opinion, without a shadow of a doubt, the absolute best devil fruit user in the series in every sense of that term, devil fruit user. Not the best devil fruit, not the best strongest person to use a devil fruit, but the best devil fruit user. And if you don't know already, you should know. I'm talking about none other than Don Quixote Doflamingo, the GOAT. Sitting at number 1. Now let's break it down for Doflamingo. Number 1, how well does he use his fruit? 5 stars across the board. Do I even need to get into this? And if I will, I'll get into it along with the last one when we talk about creativity and versatility, because that's where I'm going to get in depth. Number 2, how good is his fruit? 5 stars again, because he has a string fruit. In a world where you have ice powers, magma powers, light, darkness, lightning, gods, you have zone gods, you have Buddhas, you have Law's fruit, you have quakes. He has the power of string. So for this, he gets 5 stars. Number 3, how long has he had his fruit? We know that he did not have it in his flashback when he was a kid and he killed his father. And we know that he did have it in Law's flashback. So we don't know the exact time, but we know he's had it for a decent amount of time now, but nothing too crazy, like shorter than 40 years for sure. So for this, I gave him 3.5 stars. Number 4, is he awakened? Yes, he is the first confirmed awakened individual besides the Zoan animals that we saw in Impel Down. So for this, he gets 5 stars. How creative and versatile is he with his abilities? 5 stars. If I can give him 10 stars for this one, I would, because he is the most creative and versatile devil fruit user we have ever seen. Coming from a man who only has string powers, he was able to restitch his organs when Law damaged his organs with injection shot. He is able to use a birdcage to seal off thousands of people in an entire city's population. Keep in mind, there were admirals there was Sabo. I know they were not trying to break it, but he is able to keep all these people confined in one spot. He has puppet mastery, where he's able to control people, and he is able to do sharp attacks with his basic attacks with string. He is also able to fly in the sky with his string and to fly regularly. And none of these do we even see the string really. It's barely visible throughout all of this. So he's able to go through without most people knowing what his devil fruit even is. So for me, Doflamingo is without a shadow of a doubt the most creative I have ever seen in the story. To take such a basic fruit that's not even in the top 20, and he makes it seem like it's in the top 10 with how good he uses it. Amazing, best devil fruit user. So to recap again, how well does he use his fruit? 5 stars. How good is his fruit? 5 stars. How long has he had his fruit? 3.5 stars. Is he awakened? Yes, he is. 5 stars. How creative and versatile is he? 5 stars. Number 1, Doflamingo, 23.5 stars. So a quick recap. Number 6, we have Big Mom at 16.5 stars. Number 5, Kaido, 19 stars. Number 4, Charlotte Katakuri, 20 stars. Number 3, Trafalgar D. Law, 20.5 stars. Number 2, Monkey D. Luffy, 21.5 stars. And number 1, Don Quixote Doflamingo, 23.5 stars. So that's the video for today, guys. Let me know down below if you disagree or if you agree. Let me know if you think I forgot a great devil fruit user who would do well in all of these criterias. And if I did forget someone, I will mention them down below and where I think they belong. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Share this video, help my channel grow, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.